had an intro sequence.
I was about to say
Very
we should rank, like the intro sequences at the end of this too, like separate from the movies, because like every single one has one. This one to me felt like I actually just started watching Black Sails a little bit, but there's a lot of intros like this where it's like a 3D object with like a cool texture, you know. It like definitely feels like the TV intros around that time when this came out, where they're like, "Dude, that's the sickest fucking holy fuck, let's get them to do it." And like, I could honestly, if it was that company, I wouldn't be surprised. But it's cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I respect his like firm stance on opening sequences. I don't know. It's like an older thing, but
kind of down with it. I kind of like bring that back. I'm down. More movies.
Right.
Intros.
If you got something cool like that, fuck it. I'll watch it.
It's like the whole reason TV shows have them, right? It's like 40 episode. Just do it for your movie.
All right. There's some that you never skip, so if it's good enough, it's fucking worth it. Succession was one that I always watched.
Yeah, I was
towards the end. I was like, I don't know if I need it, but
I started skipping Succession.
That's fair.
Severance and Shrinking, both Apple shows.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
I'll watch both of those.
Yeah, the Shrinking one, I always loved that. Yeah.
It's just got a good vibe, good music.
It is. It's chill. Yeah. I actually just watched The White Lotus, and I think that is one of my favorite opening sequences, honestly. So both seasons. Yeah, and I watch that every time.
But we include an anime?
Yeah, I just went through it like 2 weeks ago.
We'll put that on a separate category. Anime intros.
Oh God, no.
How many? So many.
I'll skip that shit every time.
So many.
Game of Thrones, I didn't skip that one that often either, just because the music was good, the map was cool. So.
Yeah.
Well, I did actually skip it a lot because I binged like 7 fucking seasons.
That's a long time.
Hot damn.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the dragon tattoo sequence, or just the dragon tattoo in general. Yeah, so it's based on, these are like really well acclaimed books. Apparently, I've never read them. Maybe I should. 3 books, yeah. And it's kind of unfortunate because I think Fincher planned on doing all 3, and obviously this movie I think is not, if not his worst financial movie, it's bad. It did bad in theaters, and on that they decided not to do anymore. But also, like, I don't know. Rewatching this movie, I find that it is definitely one of Fincher's weakest movies, in my opinion. So I don't know if I needed the other 2.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I agree with that. It was good. It was everything kept me like encapsulated in the story, and like I was invested in the family he's investigating and all that. I was more down to like, I was just like happy to see Daniel Craig back kind of in like a detective mode. I don't know. After watching this one, I'm like, oh, Glass Onion and Knives Out. It's like,
I fuck with this.
I fuck with this. This is like a good fit for him. So maybe he helped carry it a lot for me. I just dug his character too. His character just like, I don't know, came across so smart and
very straightforward and like knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. There's like enough twists and turns throughout the plot of like, to keep you guessing until the end. It is like, I don't know, there was stuff that hit me in this one that I really liked, that I like near the end when is it Stellan Skarsgård, the bad guy,
Skarsgård.
One of those Skarsgårds.
One of them, dude, yeah. Where he's like, you should always trust your instinct, and it's funny because like when when Daniel Craig's character is first being introduced to everyone, he's like the first guy that you like get a sense of like uneasiness for. At least I did. Everyone else came across like willing to help and like just telling their and then as soon as like he opens the door and like that like I don't know, like that kind of crazy smile, I'm just like, son of this dude. Like, yeah. I don't know if I fuck with this guy.
I think the main guy is he one of those people from Hot Fuzz? Like he's one of the main people in town. He runs the supermarket. Is that same guy?
The older dude?
I don't know.
Old dude?
Yeah, because he was just like murdering people too. So
yeah.
I guess like I didn't even like think about it at the time, but I'm like, he's the fucking murderer. That's what I should have thought.
The greater good. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's good twists and turns. Like the Fincher nails the crime, the mystery stuff. So I thought it was mid, but it wasn't like too bad. I might rewatch it. It's definitely jarring as fuck.
Yeah.
Some of those, but yeah.
Yeah, when it gets to Stellan Skarsgård, the reveal basically of the whole mystery, I mean, the movie like pops off in that moment and it becomes like a great movie. And then it like immediately dips back to like mid. You know, it's like that scene though. I mean, that's a great sequence. Once like Daniel Craig enters that house and then like dives out of the house, comes back in the, you know, it's like,
yeah, like holy fuck, he just gets him back in there.
yeah. He's like, you should have just left. Like, why'd you come back in? You know, like, yeah, it's great. I mean, that's great shit. To me, I think like I came away thinking that the movie basically relied too much on you like knowing the story or being okay with just like hearing it because like the book did it, you know. So it's like we got to hit all these checkpoints for you, and it's like they're interesting, right? I mean, it's in the book, you know. Like it's fucking good, you know. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that great. I mean, like the case, I almost wrote that case out of my head as it was happening because I just didn't follow it or care about it. I don't know. And I like the family aspect of it where it's like
confusing for sure.
There's a past history. It's so confusing, but that's just because the plot like glazes over things a lot just to get to like
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Elizabeth storyline.
Yeah, I don't know. Like overall, I feel like I thought it was like okay. Like you said, Noah. I think you said like middle of the pack, low. I mean, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd put it above a lot of his, but like still not really that good. But I think one thing that I was like thinking about after I watched this movie, and I think it just like clicked now when you said it was like a 3-book series, because like I mean like really like the main character is not Daniel Craig. It's the girl with the dragon tattoo. I don't remember her name.
Elizabeth.
But like it feels so disconnected between their two characters because it's just like flashing between both of them for like the first half of the movie. Yeah. And like she doesn't really get any time with Daniel Craig until like the last half of the movie.
For sure.
And I like at first I'm like, why would you do it like that? That doesn't make any sense. But when you said that it's 3 books and like in book form, I kind of get it because like they're probably like fleshing out her character more, and this is like her first arc, and she'll probably have more to do in the next 2 books.
Right.
But also like from like David Fincher's standpoint, where was I going with this? I had some point I was gonna get. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I agree because especially how it ended, where she like makes the jacket for him.
Yeah, because like Daniel Craig, I realized like he literally didn't change at all. He went back to the chick he was seeing, like still cheating on his wife, or she's cheating on her husband or something like that. So I mean, like he's literally just a static character. And then I feel like that's when it flipped to that like she's supposed to be the main character. Because I'm like, why didn't this end after that sequence where you find out that Stellan Skarsgård is like the bad guy, like that he's been looking for, and like then there's a whole sequence after that, and I'm like, shit. Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the whole time I thought that the girl with the dragon tattoo was this Harriet chick. For like, I thought it was teasing that for like a little while. I was like, all right, she's on this. Yeah, she's like she bounced from the family. She's on this revenge tear to like get back to him somehow, and like
the last 10 minutes. I mean, it sucks because like you need that to like give the mystery out because basically like Harriet's alive and she just faked her death or whatever, right? I mean, I think, but like, yeah, narratively, it's just like what. Oh, you know, like it just dips hard. But I mean, yeah, I get what you mean about like it's like the meeting of the minds took way too long in the movie. You know, it's like an hour and a half in or some shit that they finally meet.
And I'm assuming that's just like to flesh out her character for probably like the next books or like the next movies, you know? Like,
well, it did give you a lot of background information on her. Obviously, that's like the darkest moments of the movie for me. Obviously, with like her and her parole officer or whatever. I mean, to me, they did like a standard like 3-point, 4-point like narrative where it's like you introduce what the situation is, then like the one character shifts it by like going too far, then he like ultimately shifts it by like being a fucking psychopath, and then she comes back and like revenges it, you know. So it's like you have to do like all 4 like 5 steps or whatever, you know, to do that right. But it's just like you just took so much real estate of the movie to do it. And it's like such a dark storyline that I don't want to spend the time doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that's kind of where the struggle is.
If you do want to add that into this movie, because I was thinking like, you know, I mean, you could add in like a side plot for her and have like it be resolved at the end, but then I feel like you kind of forget about it, or it'll like lose meaning maybe, like if you don't do it all at once. I don't know.
Right. Or you could have like started it.
Like, I don't know.
You could have started it if you really wanted to. You could have streamlined the story to like already be abusive-ish in ways, and you or like once she goes into the office for the third time or whatever that we see, we could have started that scene and been like, wow, that's a fucked up situation. Holy fuck. I don't know. Maybe cut one scene. I don't know. That's just kind of like my
one
theory.
other thing about her, when she shows up at the very beginning and her hair is all like fucking spiked, but she just got off a motorcycle and had a helmet on.
She's that badass, dude. I will say a couple gripes as far as acting in this movie goes. Some accent work. I don't know with
French?
her, and
Is she supposed to be French? Is that like what I was picking up?
So yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then Robin Wright was another kind of side character that you visit every once in a while, and she was doing like a Swedish accent or something. I was like, Robin, come on, let's try a little harder. I don't know. That was just me though.
That's fair. I think I ended. I haven't logged any of these movies recently, but I'd probably end at like 3.5 for this one. 3.5, maybe 4, just because I don't know. I like how it's dark. It definitely goes. I mean, fucking half the family's Nazis and shit, and there's like fucking rape scenes, and it's like if you're looking for that ick, like this movie definitely gives it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say I'd like come around to this one again soon. Maybe down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would even show this one to I would be like,
like how do you recommend it?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, yeah.
So I mean, also like I think it's like 3.5. I gave it 3.5 the first time, and I honestly think I could take it the other direction down to 3 if I wanted to, just because like this watch didn't do anything for me that the first one it didn't make the movie better for me at all. Like it. To be quite honest, like after watching The Social Network, it's kind of a shocking step down in quality for like what Fincher can do. And like I don't know,
he's got to get that psychopath stuff out.
I guess you just got to murder somebody and get it over with. And I don't know, it's like the intentional filmmaking or the intentional storytelling is just not there compared to Social Network, or like the punchiness. Like it's so muted and like boring. I don't know.
You think that's like a product of like the book being like having such solid material, and then with The Social Network it's more like, well, how can I throw some drama? How can I like play this up? Yeah, that kind of
Sorkin, I think, obviously is 50% of why The Social Network is that good. I hate to give him that much credit, but that script is so fucking good. Like it's just solid. And this one, I think, like the tone of Dragon Tattoo is so fucking dark that you're cut off at the knees in a lot of ways, I think. But then, like, to not take your filmmaking style any further just really proved that this is like not a movie or a place you want to like be at or visit. I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that. Maybe I'm dropping it down to 3 stars. Fuck. Maybe
I did it. My job.
Shit.
I wrote down a movie 3.5, but I don't know. I've been contemplating dropping it down to 3, but I don't know.
I mean, I originally had a 3.5, so it's like I'm not like shit talking it at all.
For like impact, like this, that's why I was like waffling 4, because like it fucking gets the point across, and like I said, it kept me engaged pretty much throughout for it being like 2.5 hours. It did a good job there. So
yeah, I think I totally agree with you. But yeah, like I don't think I'd rewatch this movie, or at least not for a long time. I don't think I need to rewatch it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
There are like Swedish versions of this story that I hear are really well done too, so I might watch those someday. And they did all 3 of them, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Rereadability. It's just not there. Not rewatchability. Rereadability.
Yeah. I will say, like, at the end of this movie, like the moment of her like descending down into the grim city on her motorcycle, like metaphorically, that hit for me as like Daniel Craig's like taking his. Well, it's like just a dirty city, and like she's going down into the depths. Like she's obviously I don't know the rest of the stories, but like we were saying, she's on the beginning of her journey, and it's kind of sad to like. That moment hit for me that I want to see like where she's going, but I don't care enough for like, so that's just like,
yeah.
But that following the Fincher cycle, it's the highs and the lows. So next movie.
Well, we'll get like a graph.
Yeah. I feel like we're watching like a fucking cardiogram or whatever the fuck it's called.
Right. Yeah. Fincher's heartbeats.